Hi Cancer, welcome to 8 of Cups Tarot. Welcome to your cards and astrology for the month of October. They are actually asking me to focus a little bit more on your astrology, so I'm going to do that for a couple minutes. Maybe there's something here in the astrology that will kind of give you an idea of what's going on for you in the month of October. It's not an easy month. It's kind of the month of reckoning. It's like the culmination of 2020, everything we've learned, everything we've experienced, and not just the things we've gone through, but it's like getting the bigger picture, getting the clarity and the truth of the situation. If there's things in our lives that we've been sort of dragging around with us, not deciding, because I feel like a lot of us are at a crossroads right now. We are at a turning point in our lives. And when you reach this culmination, some things have to go, and then we invite new things in. So we're sort of in between worlds, which is why everything appears to be so frightening. And that is Pluto moving direct in your 7th house right now after a really inspirational and a high vibration 10th house full moon. If you look at these luminations, a high vibe full moon experience would be like this major inspiration for you to really get control. Remember, Aries is the emperor in tarot, so in terror, that may have been a Freudian slip. But it's our strength to conquer those fears, to overcome them, and that's a big part of 2020. And it's kind of heart over mind right now. It's, Venus is coming out of that critical degree at the late part of Leo, 29 degrees Leo, and then stepping into the fixed star Regulus, which is kind of really important for you. That's the cusp of your 2nd and 3rd house right there. So it's kind of carrying in the value of yourself, kind of your inner self being kind of lit up, what you value, how you want others to value you. It's a self-worth. It does reflect in your finances. But I think being on the cusp of the 3rd house is sort of breakthroughs in the way that you express yourself in order to get your needs met. And I think that's a really important point for you this month. Now, we have Venus moving into Virgo in your 3rd house, which is what I'm talking about, because it sextiles the Mercury retrograde in your 5th. Meaning you could have people coming back from the past, or you may be spending some time reviewing the past. 5th house is it's a house of romance. It's a house of pleasure and joy and creativity. And it's really bringing a focus on, again, heart matters. What do we love? It could be reconnecting with our children. It could be wanting children. And again, there's an emphasis on now is the time to express your needs. Now, Venus and Virgo in your 3rd can be a powerful time because it's a time to clean up our environment. It's a time to clean up our surroundings. It also invites creativity. So if there's classes or something that you're looking to take, now is a really great time to focus your energy on new stuff, new information, opening your mind. I don't advise you spend a whole lot of time watching the news, and that's going to be a challenge this month, Cancer. There's so much going on in mundane astrology. There's so much going on in our outer world, and it's kind of easy to lose an evening or 4 or 5 evenings. You get home from work and you turn on the news and you're kind of sucked in. And you have to be really careful. You especially, because we have the South Node in your 6th house of health. And because you are so empathic and you absorb the energy. This is your natural, beautiful gift that you bring to the world, Cancer. Cancer being your first house, if you're a Cancer rising in particular. Pisces and Neptune going through that ninth, with all the energy moving direct in your seventh house, which is kind of a house of alignment, who we line up with, the partners in our life, the contracts, the concrete things that we learn to rely on. Pluto moving direct there. There's so much going on right now where you could get really lost in other people's energy, and other people's energy isn't particularly healthy at this time. And you, Cancer, can really embody that energy, and then if it's repressed, it will come out in the physical form of illness, meaning watch your immune system. Again, South Node in your sixth house could be an emphasis of not being able to really reach a solid routine. Things might seem too fluid, and yet you are you really need it. You need the routine, and yet you can't reach it. And sometimes you could fall into comfort zones here, and it could be a time waste, another indication that you're spending a lot of time doing things that aren't for your greatest good, not being really hyper focused on the things that are going to be a return on your investment. So, Mars retrograde in your 10th house, and Uranus, there's a major emphasis on Uranus this month. 5th to 11th house, the things that you really love, and 11th house can be a house of luck, a house of opening up to new things, to new possibilities. So that could play out really interesting for you in particular this month. Again, bringing back people from your past, maybe kind of reviewing past situations. It's an interesting time, and it could be an indication that there's some parts of October that, although the energy is very bad, there's opportunity to kind of just be with the people that you love. And there's a real emphasis here on being grateful. Being grateful is kind of the key. You know, we have to let go of judging others, because again, this energy is like really bringing up a lot of shadow work for everybody. You're not seeing the best side of everyone, but you might be seeing an honest side of people, and it might be a side that you need to see. Now, there's times when Cancer can be very forgiving, very nurturing, but the ultimate message here with this Mars retrograde in your 10th house is that boundaries need to be set, and there might be a slimming down, North Node in your 12th, of the people that you give your energy to. Venus, Virgo in your 3rd, which is very much about the people in your environment. And it's about getting really wise to, again, how we spend our time, who we spend our time with. It may reflect the need that you need to kind of pull back. Again, there's health matters at stake for you this month. So if your body is telling you to rest and retreat, then by all means, it's very important that you listen to your body now. And then if you feel inspired to spend time with others, it's the idea of following your intuition and allowing yourself to say yes or no to things, because that's what your body and your soul and your mind and your heart need you to do. So it's okay to disappoint people this month. It's okay. I know that sounds selfish, but we just had this full moon in Aries in your 10th house, meaning it's I am time. It's starting to decide who you are in this world, what you want to be, and invest your energy in the future. And it's a time to invest in yourself. Okay, now they said it's okay to move on to the cards. You, Cancer, are coming out as the Page of Fire this month. And I love this energy because there's such an emphasis on the new. There's such an emphasis and an ability to let yourself follow your curiosity. You know, Page is childlike. It's childlike energy, but I pick up a very good energy from this. Everyone's in a transformation phase. So controlling situations isn't going to get you anywhere. Page of Wands isn't trying to control anything. It's not trying to push anyone or anything in its environment. Page of Fire is the path of least resistance, letting things happen, allowing people to be who they are, and then deciding if it serves you, if it brings you joy, if it makes you feel love. If you think about a child and their natural curiosity and the way that they are just naturally attracted to the things that they like to do. May also be an indication, again, North Node in your 12th house. We've got a lot of things coming up for you. The sun is in your 4th, illuminating your roots, who you were, what your childhood was like. And it might be a good time to kind of reflect on those things, reflect on the way things were when you grew up, how things were in your childhood, if there's healing that needs to be done there, or gratitude almost for what you had. And, you know, it's almost a time of reconnecting with your roots. So if you've been in situations in your life, as a lot of us have been, you know, there's always this push, Cancer, to create and achieve and make money and have this certain status. And then 2020 kind of comes along and it shifts our priorities. And you might be shifting your priorities this month. And the Page of Fire, to me, says explore those curiosities, explore those moments of inspiration. And if you're remembering things that you really liked to do as a child, maybe you used to play the guitar, maybe, you know, when you were a kid, you thought, oh, I always wanted to be a veterinarian. And maybe you think back to these things and you reconnect to these things and ideas really start to happen. And, you know, pages always plant a seed. So this inspiration is something that's leading you towards something much bigger. We're growing. Now your environment, your surroundings, your situation, these two cards popped out twice. They put them back. They came right back out. So you get two. The Ace of Cups and the Two of Cups. Okay. So Cancer, there's a lot of love here, obviously. There's a lot of, like I said, Page of Fire is when we move towards the things that we like. You could totally tell Mercury is going retrograde. It's when we turn to the things that we truly love. And I think you are on a path that's leading you to love. And I think the thing is, right now you're being pulled in a direction of not just feeling love, not just having all this love built up in you, but stepping into situations where there's an equal exchange. With this Two of Cups, it's connecting at the same vibration, right? The same frequency. It's somebody that is a good and nurturing match for you. And certainly because of your core needs, there's a connection to safety, a connection of authenticity. And I think Cancer is really wanting love in their life, that like the love that you've always dreamed of. I don't know, I get, when I hold these two cards and I focus in on them, I just get this warm, fuzzy feeling. And I think if you're not in relationships like this month, there's going to be a real heavy emphasis on acceptance. Accepting things for what they are so that you can bring this into your life. This is an irresistible energy. This is like a moth to the flame. You have your sight set on this feeling, and this thing that you want to bring into your life. And the overall energy is my Queen of Cups. That tells me a couple different things, and I love this because I just saw the card that came out underneath. The overall energy is a Queen of Cups, meaning you are learning how to receive love. And you can't do that until you love yourself. The universe is going to ask you this month to prove how much you love yourself, which means you have to choose yourself. My Queen of Cups is always my self-care, self-love, doing what is best for you. Now, this Queen of Cups isn't really about like taking the bubble bath and taking time to meditate and appreciate yourself. This goes much bigger than this. This Queen of Cups is like, maybe you should pay attention to your finances. Maybe you should, in all areas of your life, make sure that your cup is full. The Queen of Cups doesn't ask anybody else to fill her cup, right? She has that taken care of, and she always maintains that abundance because she is meant to give back, because she is meant to nurture and support. So it is crucial that the Queen of Cups is in relationships that really reflect love. Queen of Cups has a really hard time matching the frequency of somebody whose cup is not full. Yet there's a natural need and attraction towards the people that need that energy and the abundance that you have to give, that the love in your heart. So it's easy to fall victim, but the Queen of Cups tells me that you've reached a point where you know better. Maybe you've learned some hard lessons here. Maybe you've gone through some things that really opened your eyes to how you weren't truly loving and honoring yourself. And so October is when, you really got to step in to this energy. And I think when you do, you simply have to attract people that are on your level. This is you attracting. This is you receiving love from a king, someone at your level. Probably someone that you've manifested, and this person, the King of Wands, will definitely meet those needs. But underneath that, oh my God, I'm doing a whole reading here out of these. Underneath that is the Five of Cups. So in order to get to this Queen of Cups status, there's some things you have to let go of. There's things in your past. There's things you have to forgive. People you have to forgive. Most likely yourself. Because once you step into this Queen of Cups, it becomes very apparent about how you really sold yourself short, how you really gave yourself away in situations. Pluto moving direct in your 7th house is a reckoning with the way that you allow others to use you and use your energy. Now, that's not necessarily a negative thing, okay? Sometimes we just create this energy. Sometimes we are so overgiving that we create this, and the universe says you have to fix it. You have to balance it out. We're always seeking balance. And so this month you may be looking at a lot of the old ways that you did things and knowing that changes need to be made. And with that comes forgiving yourself for the earlier versions of who you were. And it's important to always remember that with the Five of Cups, it's a hard energy. It's a reflective, heavy energy, right? Saturn in the 7th. And yet, there's 2 full cups behind you meaning there's still so much more to be grateful for. All is not lost. Now, that could be in an existing relationship, or it could just be the overall feeling that it's just never going to happen for me. The Two of Cups is a promise that it will. As soon as you get through this energy, those Two of Cups appear. Now, your first 3 cards. Oh my God, this is such a long reading. These are all long readings, guys, because the energy in October is huge. That's why they're running a little late, because I really just have to give it all with them, and they take a lot of energy. Okay, so your first 3 cards. Well, put it in your perspective. Queen of Wands, Two of Wands, and the High Priestess. Okay. Cancer, Queen of Wands tells me that there is something that you have been really wanting, really, and that comes out underneath that Two of Cups. But Queen of Wands can often be a little demanding, right? A little bit pushy. And there's an emphasis here on the need to control the situation. Now, I say that because the Queen of Cups, I'm going to be jumping around a little bit, just follow along. The Queen of Cups comes out next to this really, really beautiful oracle card. Card number 57, which actually breaks down to a 3, which means you're stepping into that creativity, that Page of Fire energy. The Time Master. So here's what happens. Saturn moving direct in your 7th, and suddenly you feel like time is really of the essence, right? Time, it's time. It's just time. And the Queen of Wands energy is where you're really trying to push something forward. But Mars retrograde in that 10th house, your path and your destiny, says it's not going to move. And I think it's important to recognize that, like I said, Page of Fire is following the path of least resistance. And the 57 next to the Queen of Wands tells me that you're really pushing for something. And it may just be the need to know what the future holds. I don't normally read from the book, but there's just, I need to read this one for you. Okay, the Time Master. Sometimes it appears that you are running out of time. You worry you won't get what you need or want. Everything gets stuck like a log jam. This is only in your mind. Time expands and contracts according to your ability to be mindful and observant, fully engaged in your now. It's time to release the story of your past. Equally, it's time to release your need to know the details for the future. All the treasure magically reveals itself when you remain relaxed and present to what is directly in front of you and nothing else. Then you realize you have all the time in the world, because time never runs out. I say this all the time, and it's just from experience mostly, from my intuition, from my own personal growth. If you're in relationships and you feel like you're really dragging this person with you, like you're really putting everything into it and they're not giving back, it's not equal give and take. It's not natural, right? If you're really pushing for growth and expansion in the relationship and yet it's just not happening, usually it's a sign to retreat. Retract your energy, retract your investment. Now, that doesn't mean walk away completely. There's a feeling in October like when it ends, we still really don't know the end of the story. So I'm not sure you're going to get a lot of conclusions in October, because I think the point of October is allowing yourself to see things from different perspectives and be open to new things coming in. Literally stepping into the path of least resistance. Here's the thing. This Queen of Wands is really focused on this Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands means that you are at a crossroads and you probably feel like it's make or break time. It's ultimatum time. It's this thing needs to move or I'm about to give up on it time. And there's something odd. I was called in this card. I noticed that, you have to kind of look. One of these are kind of elevated, which makes me feel like it's being put up on a pedestal, right? And this wand is actually secured to this cement wall. So it's like you're grabbing something new. Something's being lifted off the ground for you, an opportunity, an idea, and yet there's so much that's rooted to the past here. And when we're at a crossroads, it's where we either need to let go of the old ways, and I have to tell you, it doesn't mean relationships are going to break up right now, but there's definitely transformation because we are transforming as individuals. The relationship has to transform as well, which is why the next couple of months are really going to play out in our partnerships and our relationships and our lives. You are at a crossroads between wanting something new, wanting something that really fulfills you and your intuition is pulling you there, and something that you're holding on to from the past, old patterns, old thought processes. It could be where we feel like we can't stand on our own because that one is secured. And maybe we're holding on to old stuff because we're afraid of change. But the High Priestess next to that card tells me that you are definitely getting messages. You are definitely, the universe is working with you now. They're guiding you. So please be open to that intuition, the synchronicities, the signs. Okay, there's things below the surface that we don't know. They are not factual to us yet. There's nothing on paper. This could be where somebody's feelings are not clear. You may think they're one thing and yet they're very much the other. And we're at a point where we sort of have to release the need to know. The High Priestess is giving it to God. It's allowing our divine, our higher power to guide us at this time. Okay, so this is where this whole really important South Node in your 6th house comes to play. Because I think what's going to happen, Cancer, is if you keep yourself in situations that aren't giving back, aren't fulfilling, and aren't meeting you at your frequency, you will actually start to get physical signs within your body. Headaches, stomach aches, inflammation, stress, exhaustion. And these symptoms will grow worse and worse. And it's important to understand where you're getting them from. As I'm telling you this, I'm getting a really awful headache around my eyebrows and my third eye. Just so you know. And I think your intuition is being really opened up this month. I think you're able to see through people, see through situations, to see the truth in what's right in front of you. And it's not going to be obvious. It's not going to be necessarily what the person is saying to you. It's not necessarily going to be what the contract is. There's more below the surface, and you have to trust your intuition right now. Next to these cards is card number 28, which is always to me a Saturn number. It's 10, it's endings, it's new beginnings, it's a need to recreate. It's the end of a cycle, which means a new cycle starts. You can't have an ending without a beginning. You can't have... It's stepping into the new. and the building blocks is important because it means that, again, Sun in the 4th house opposing the Mars retrograde. it's the need to move towards your future. And how important it is that when you're building this new thing, when you're starting this new cycle, that the foundation be really strong, meaning it's important to pay attention to who you are partnering with now. It's important to pay attention that they are with you ethically, morally, that things are correct, that you are being honored, that they are being honored, because you can't get into commitments. Like 2020 won't let you. Saturn won't let you get into these commitments that aren't that won't stand the test of time. Right? We're starting new 28 cycles, 40-year cycles, 150-year cycles. Like this is a new energy, a new attitude, a new discernment that you bring into your relationships, and you really start to look at things, Two of Wands, realistically, and you say, does this belong with me forever? Because I think if it doesn't, it has to go. And if it has potential, it has to grow. You can't just have potential. You have to have potential and an intention to grow. Building blocks, planting seeds, making things happen, laying down the groundwork. And the High Priestess means you may not even have a clear idea of what you want it all to end up like. You may have no flippin' clue what you want to start next. But October might tell you what you don't want anymore. It might become very obvious that certain things just aren't going to work. And either they need to change or they need to end. There's really no other option. Now here's where we get to the real deep stuff. I'm already at 32 minutes, guys. I apologize. I'm so sorry, but this is really important. You have the Four of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles in reverse. I always do this backwards. This whole reflecting thing, very confusing to me. So the Four of Pentacles is letting go. The Queen of Pentacles is knowing your worth. And the Page of Pentacles is where you don't accept anything less than what you're worth. You don't come at a Queen of Pentacles and offer her a penny. She doesn't care about your penny. She doesn't need your penny. What she wants is to see your value. I think this is what you're saying to others in October. Next to this Four of Pentacles, letting go, what I feel is the most important card in this reading. Self-esteem. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. Meaning you are finally accepting your value. You are seeing you. Like I said, that Queen of Cups, you're moving into this self-love. You're seeing your value. You're seeing what you can give others. Maybe you spent a certain part of your life feeling like, well, I could really love somebody, but I don't make a lot of money, or somewhere where you felt inadequate in some way, meaning you didn't feel like you could ask for more. That was very prominent in the Capricorn reading as well. Learning that we could ask for what we want, and the fact that we absolutely deserve those things. If you've been people pleasing, if you've been afraid to speak up because you don't want to make waves, you don't want confrontation, you don't want to disappoint anyone. October, this Mercury retrograde through Scorpio, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Right now is a time for you to let go. There's an emphasis of letting go of your need to control, letting go of your need to have a specific outcome, and just knowing what you deserve. This is sort of like telling that partner, look, these are my 5 major needs. And if you can't meet these, then we simply have to move on. Time is of the essence. Remember, you're in the mindset that time is of the essence. And the only reason you're in that mindset is that you're participating in a frequency that does not match yours. Either this person is not valuing you the way that you deserve, or they are unaware of what your needs are because you haven't said it. Self-esteem means you find the strength to say it. This is what I want. This is who I am. Where is this going to go? Is there growth here? Now, also with the 4 of Pentacles, it's a lot about letting go of the past. It's a lot about forgiveness. If you have been stubborn, if you have been not allowing yourself to get fully emotionally immersed into a situation, because you're afraid of getting hurt, because you're afraid of being vulnerable, self-esteem, there's a lot of ways. North Node in your 12th house, you're going to see the way that you sabotage yourself. So I don't see that a whole lot here. I don't think there's a lot of Cancers here that are really going through that situation. If you are, it's a moment of tremendous growth. It's a moment of accepting who you are and allowing this into your life. Now, if you have a wonderful partner who's kind of going through this exhausting journey of breaking down your walls, I see progress. But even in that situation, there's probably a little bit of a mess you have to clean up. Maybe you've hurt someone else's self-esteem. Maybe your inability to emotionally invest in something did some damage. And if so, here's an opportunity to turn it around, to transfer it or transform it into something that's more fitting for you. The Queen of Pentacles in the center of your reading. Queen of Pentacles is very aware. She's very aware, self-aware, aware of others. She's absolutely 100% independent, self-sufficient, reliable, loyal. She's kind of like my perfect wife card. And I think throughout October, you are going to realize, that could be husband too. These are gender neutral. I always forget to say that. I assume everyone knows. I'm never referring to a specific gender. It's just a feminine energy of valuing self. And the thing is that Queen of Pentacles has so much to offer. And she knows what she brings to the table. She sees value in herself, therefore she could see real value in others. Now, the Page of Pentacles coming out reverse underneath the High Priestess. There's a couple things here. There's a resistance to, again, there's a resistance on your part or another person's part to make an initial investment. Now, you're standing in your self-worth, so maybe this is a time for you to correct any areas where you have not been investing in yourself. Time management skills, getting down to, like I said, self-love a lot of times is like balancing that checkbook, paying those bills, doing that budget, like taking areas of yourself under control a little bit more. If you've been trying to control other people and other situations, it's time to turn inward. don't get rid of that energy. The Queen of Wands is a beautiful energy. She gets things done. She kind of blazes a trail for us. There's so much creativity and inspiration, but it's important that you're investing it in yourself and not trying to get other people to cooperate with you. So, Page of Pentacles, and the emphasis on your third house, and I don't know, this is a very specific message, but if you're looking to participate in classes, kind of expand things, expand your mind might be really hungry this month. With all this earth and wand energy, it feels like there's a want to know and learn more about things. And so do not be afraid to invest, to take those classes. Now, this probably isn't like going back to college or anything. This could represent like taking a yoga class or going to a photography class or something like that, because you're in a Page of Fire, so you need to be curious and open to new things in your life. This can also represent somebody who is maybe promising things but not actually delivering them. Again, this is an area of life where you could do this to yourself. You could be having all of these plans, all of these things you want to do, and yet they're not actually happening. For a lot of reasons. Mars is retrograde, it's squaring Saturn, we're hitting delays, and we're like, man, I really want to do this, I really want to take this, but maybe I don't have the money. Maybe I don't have the skill set right now. And this comes in the same line as all of the self-esteem. So I think the message here is that you need to reprioritize. You need to make different things your priority. You need to make those investments in you a priority, because they will pay off. Page of Pentacles, they may not pay off right away, right? Like, these things might not be things that you see immediate results. Okay, so it's not like if you want to start a new website or start a new business, I wouldn't expect it to like get off the ground and be successful overnight. If your expectations are being an overnight success in something, it's not going to happen. Shortcuts just simply aren't going to happen. Saturn's moving direct, Jupiter's moving direct, Pluto's moving direct in your 7th house. Things aren't going to be easy. I wouldn't expect them to be easy. But it will be obvious what is going to work out, even though you have to put in the hard work right now, and what is simply not worth your time. Next to that Page of Pentacles in reverse, I am a being of love. I release all negative energy. Peace. I think negativity and lack of self-esteem has been the thing that's been holding you back from progress. Maybe it's the thing that's been keeping you in a relationship with somebody who really isn't going to offer you the thing you think they are. Now's the time to just let those things go and create peace, to create space in your life for new things to come in. Uranus is being so lit up this month. A Scorpio retrograde in your 5th with Uranus in your 11th. It's like you could just suddenly meet new people. It's like right place, right time kind of miracles can happen, but you have to believe in yourself and you got to get unstuck from situations that aren't going to bring you growth. Now, I think the third line is a reflection of what happens if you don't allow this transformation to happen fluidly. If you're fighting it, if you're resisting it in any way. Because I really don't like this energy. Don't like the way this looks, and I don't like the way that it feels. On the 31st of the month, we have a full moon in Taurus. Again, your 11th house, and it is conjunct Uranus, and this is kind of a big deal. And Uranus can play out in a couple of really different ways. And it's all depending on the choices and decisions that you make in early October. Okay. Here's the thing. If you give up on the things that aren't showing you potential growth, and I think you intuitively know, I don't have to sit here and repeat what those things might be. But if you don't let go of that thing, it's going to blow up in your face. And it's probably going to be a real hit to your ego. Okay? Knight of Swords in reverse and the Six of Wands in reverse. Knight of Swords is an energy of really fast movement. In reverse, it comes to a screeching halt. Knight of Wands can often be somebody that we were relying on, somebody who we thought was coming in to save us. You know, the Knight of Wands is so romantic and he's so good with words. Oh, I'm sorry, I just moved my camera. He's so good with words and he's so charming. But the Knight of Wands in reverse can be very manipulative, and he could also scare easily, and he could also kind of disappear without much of an explanation. Knight of Swords can also deliver the truth, and in reverse, it's not an easy pill to swallow. It could be harsh communication. It could be really bad news. It could show up as some sort of a failure, some sort of something that really, you know, and it's kind of sad because no matter what you're choosing, the emphasis is on your self-esteem. So if this happens, it's going to feel like, damn, you knew better the whole time. Six of Wands in reverse means there's no victory. There's no winners. It's like staying beyond your welcome and somebody having to say to you, I'm going to need you to leave. And it sucks. It's a rejection. It's heartbreak. But it's an opportunity. The grander scheme of things, you will look back on that moment and you will be thankful for it. The Moon card. The Moon card is the eclipse card. When you are no longer able to deny, illusions are shattered. It brings me back to my attention on this Two of Wands. This Two of Wands, where this wand is on a pedestal. Maybe you really believed in this thing. Maybe you really invested a lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of love. Maybe you were very attracted to this. Maybe you really felt like this was your future. This was absolutely, without a doubt, what you wanted and believed in. Maybe the universe had a different idea, and maybe you were shown that you really deserve a lot more, that this person isn't that thing that you want. However, the universe wants to give you that thing that you want. It's just not going to be with this person. The Moon card is when the universe changes things because you weren't willing to step out of your comfort zone. You know, I'm also getting the tower image in my head, resisting change, and then the universe just kind of throws it at you. This Knight of Swords, Six of Wands, is very preventable. If you listen to your intuition, if you listen to yourself, to how you feel, pay attention to your body. How do you feel around this person? You know, if your gut instinct is to not trust them, why would you waste your time? In the grand scheme of things, 2020 is teaching every one of us that we have got to trust our instinct. Meaning we have to really know who we are, meaning we have to have some really tough experiences to show us who we really are. That's what that moon card is. Things are being shown to you now so that you could move in a direction that you're meant to move in. This Knight of Swords in reverse comes out next to the full moon in Taurus. Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus happens on October 31st. On October 31st, if there are things in your life that do not fit what you have wanted and desired, they have to go. The universe is going to make you get grounded and practical and give those things a chance to evolve by cleaning out the things that we need to clean out. Full moons usually represent endings. It doesn't have to be the ending of a relationship because there's transformative energy here. But it can't stay the way it is. And in that, you get to see who this person truly is. Your advice from Spirit, and I will read this card to you. Butterfly Spirit, transformation is beautiful. Card number 11, which is a very divine number. I'm going to read you the protection message for that because it is advice from Spirit. Transformation does not have to be as traumatic or dramatic as things may seem to be right now. Remember, change is the only true constant when you resist it. You create a tension within you as you refuse to accept the inevitable. In this moment, you might have forgotten the beauty and joy of life as it moves through its seasons, as nature dictates. You are being faced with a choice now. You can struggle with the current conditions, refusing to surrender and see through the lens of lack and loss. Or you can surrender to the grace that is calling you to allow life to take its course, moving through the sadness and disappointment. Surrender will soften you, inviting you to bask in gratitude and see through the lens of curiosity. These are the keys to tuning into the infinite potential available to you now. Butterfly Spirit knows the beauty and delight you are on the brink of discovering. Let go and trust that it is there for you. All right, Cancer. I have to say I had to go completely out of order because your energy was really calling me. So I think this has become really kind of unavoidable right now. I know this energy is big for you. I could feel it. And I feel like you're gonna make really positive change this month. It's an overwhelming feeling of almost freedom. I feel like you're gonna break free of some real limiting things this month. So even if it's shitty, I'm happy for you. I'm happy that these things are happening for you because the things that are coming for you, Cancer, are the things that you've wanted for so long and that you've truly deserved. Don't settle for anything less than this. All right, Cancer. Please remember to hit the like button. The station's growing so great right now, and but it's all about that algorithm. So the more likes, the more views, the more this gets out there and we can build this community together. And don't be afraid to comment because I love reading them and participating. I will always be there to answer you guys. And if you're seeking further advice, just message me. Take care. I love you guys so much, and I'll be seeing you soon. Bye.